Hello, my name is Craig Otto. I'm a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt. Today, I'm going to extract a 6S training session from my white belt video. I wanted to make sure that we could pull it out just specifically for 6S to make it easier for training. I hope you enjoy.
Now I want to dive into 6S specifically, and I want to talk about how do you implement that. 6S, the first S is sort. What you're doing here is removing anything that is not used in your workspace. It could be any kind of extra items, but again, distance is the enemy. We've learned that in the past. So any extra items there will create distance, and we'll see that in some of the exercises that we do. The next one is straighten. And again, the sequence matters here. The first thing you do is sort. The next thing you do is straighten. Straighten is about organizing the items that you do need, get them organized, the tools, materials, equipment that needs to be organized in a manner based on the amount of use. In other words, if you use it all the time, you want it close to you. If you use it once a day, it can be a little bit farther away. If you use it once a week, it can be even farther away. So that's the idea, is the more you use it, the closer it should be, because that drives down distance. Now, shine, that's about making sure that your workplace is clean, and it's also about visual management. Your workplace should speak to you. You need to be able to recognize something normal from abnormal so that you can make problems visible. The fourth S is to improve ergonomics, reduce burden, ensure safety, and all that's done. This is something that we consciously try to do throughout all of our processes. So even sometimes when we're improving something, that could create risk that is unintended. So that's why we always keep safety in there, so that we're always kind of assessing, okay, even though we think we made this better, maybe it did something where it hurt our ergonomics, right? Or it created a different type of burden. So we always got to tie it back to safety. Standardize, making sure that after you do it, you have a regular routine to repeat these first four S's. In other words, you may clean out your garage in the spring. By the end of summer, what happens? Your garage gets messy again, right? So unless you repeat this process daily, weekly, monthly, whatever that routine needs to be, it'll go back to the way it always was. So that's why you got to repeat this for first four S's on a regular basis. And then the last one is sustain, which is about establishing that external source to kind of monitor the sustainment and create that accountability. So that is the 6S process. Again, order matters, follow the sequence. All right, so now I want to tie, again, 6S to the purpose of it. Like, what is the purpose of 6S? So when we sort and straighten, that is where we're actually eliminating the physical distance, right? So that's where the waste elimination comes from. The shine is about eliminating that mental distance, okay? That, the workplace speaks to you, right? That's a mental thing. It makes you think faster because the area is shine and it's clean and you can see normal from abnormal. Safety is about eliminating risk. Standardize and sustain is the countermeasure to the second law of thermodynamics. Again, the second law of thermodynamics says that everything proceeds towards chaos, gets worse over time. Standardize and sustain are put in place. The purpose of that is to counteract that. We want to counteract that law. We know it's a law, so it's going to happen. So by redoing the first four S's, that's how we counteract it, through these S's, okay? And then I also like to always tie back to principles, because that tells us why each step is most important, right? Sort and straighten, again, that's systematically removing waste. That's the principle behind those first two S's. The shine, that's how you get immediate problem recognition so that you can stop the flow stoppers, right? We want to create flow and value. So shine helps us recognize those problems immediately. That's the principle. Safety, it's about respect of each individual, right? We care about our people. We do not want them in harm's way. We want them going home in the same condition, if not better, than when they came in, right? Respecting every individual. That's what safety is about. And then standardize and sustain is about that routine of excellence for standardize, and then the cadence of accountability for the sustain, right? It has to be a cadence of accountability because the second law of thermodynamics is always working against us, right? So we got to keep that accountability there on a regular basis. That's why it says cadence.
Thanks everyone for watching my 6S training session. I hope you was able to really dial into the principles. That's probably the most important, is understanding why. And then, of course, executing and eliminating distance, which is attacking the waste of motion. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time.